Hey girls and guys and girls. Sorry, just had to make sure that it was actually recording because you know how it goes sometimes. It gets a little bit technical. So, we're here again, and this is a big subject that I've spoken briefly on in previous videos, but this one is definitely going to go a little bit more in depth on this thing we call sexual sin, okay? This is one of my biggest sins, okay? I ain't got nothing to hide. I've laid it all before God and I've repented for all of my sins, right? But do I struggle? Yes, I do, okay? I do struggle with this a lot, okay? Because it was an addiction, okay? And who I was with is the same, okay? And when you become, let's say, one with someone, okay, whether that's your actual person or not, okay, and what I mean by that, when you are going at it, okay, and you are skin to skin, okay, that's you becoming one with that person, okay. So how he is, like some of his traits are now my traits, okay, and we can see it as kind of like a soul tie also, okay, because those things are real, okay. So let me get started. So the other video I did, I mentioned that there was a video where I was given a book, right, that had the number 20 on it, and the person who gave me the book was Cisco, okay. So I was like, Cisco, what's Cisco doing in my dream, okay, in my room, in my intimate space, okay, laid out on my bed, and it was like we was together. So I laid on top of him with my clothes on. Well, I had a bikini on, okay, and we was talking, and I says, oh, this bikini, I'm gonna have to go and take it off, and he says, no, keep it on, right? But when I was issued the book that said 20, right, a part of it started to peel away, okay. So some of the pages, like say you got binds, right, you know, like when you have binds in a folder, the binds started to pull away, so they was broken out, and I was like, oh no, look, it's broken. And then he came and he gave me extra binds to put back in that book, and then he handed me a book that was numbered 3, okay. So as I said, like 20 means exhortation and expectancy, okay, and the other meaning is redemption. But in this dream, everything was dark, okay. I was in black, he was in black, the whole room was dark, the book was black, okay. So I had to go look up his name, okay, and I know I was looking like Cisco. I don't even think that's got a meaning, right? And it just took me on a whirlwind of things like, yeah, definitely got no meaning out of Cisco. So I was like, what's his actual name, right? Cisco's name is Mark, okay, and one of the meanings for his name means warlike, okay, and I was like, okay, right, and I've been dealing with my addiction for a while now, okay. Like I have some days, right, when it gets so bad, like my everything in me is screaming for sex, okay. We're just gonna put it out on the table like that, like it screams at me, okay. It's like you need it now, you want it now, okay. Like my whole body will just be on it, okay. And it happens very often. Like I can go 3 days with this initial feeling just on me constantly, and it always happens when I am celibate, okay, especially when it gets to like the end of the year. Right, end of the year times, you know, when people are always talking about, oh, it's coughing season, that's why people end up in bad situations, okay. I'm not even gonna go there, okay, but because of their fleshly desires, that's when they end up making bigger mistakes, okay, and then being with people they're not supposed to be with, okay, or ending up with them for the season, and then after that realizing that they don't want the person, and all those kinds of scenarios, right? So I don't get myself into that situation, because I know that that would be what would happen. I would go running right back to my ex, okay, because he's what I know, and he knows me, and he knows what I like and what I don't like, okay. We was together for 6 years, so it's obvious the first thing that comes to mind is just go back there, right? and go get it done and just get it over and done with, right? And I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat anything. Like, there's been plenty of times I have thought about it, okay? There's been plenty of times I've said, yeah, just do that, right? Because it's just easier, okay? But where I want to be, right, I have to go to God, right, and sit in his feet and say, please just take the feeling away from me. Just take it away from me, okay? Because I don't want a temporary satisfaction, okay? I want what God has for me, right? That will come in time. But what God has is way more than what a moment of pleasure can give me, right? Outside of my marriage. And that's why I said I want my marriage, because not because just because of sex, okay, but because I know that when I'm in that marriage, everything that God is going to do for us, right, is for his kingdom, and it's going to work out beautifully. Even through the bad times and the hard times, it's still going to be a beautiful story that God has put together, okay, to help advance his kingdom, right? So as you can tell, I've been ill for the past week or so, right, with a chest infection. It's been on and off me from that time, right, when I've got sick, okay, because of my thoughts. It's like it's made me ill, okay? Your thoughts can create the sin in you, right, for you to want to sin, okay? There's been plenty of times I've just wanted to relieve myself of that feeling, okay? And I've gotten so close so many times, okay? Like, it's really serious out here. We can block our blessings from keep on going backwards to our sins, okay? But we can be repentful, and we can ask him to take it away from us, and we can get back to a place where we're in his good graces again, right? But it is hard. It's not the easiest thing ever, right, to ever do. But going back to the dream, it just showed me, right, he was saying, stop making love with things that are war, like the darkness, okay? Stop going back to the darkness. He knows my area where I am having a difficult time right now, okay? So he showed me in that dream, because I was straddling Cisco in the dream, okay? I was on top of him, right? You're just gonna be real, right? And he knows that that's something that's within me that I need to work on, that needs work, okay? That's the sinful thing, me always going back to thinking about sexual acts and things like that, right? That's something that I need to curb, okay? Sometimes I can just be sitting there and the feeling will take over, and you just start thinking about certain things that you want done, okay? It's as simple as that. Anybody who knows, okay? This video is for those who know, okay, like know what I'm talking about. Like, it's hard, okay? As a woman, I wouldn't think it would be this hard, right? But I can imagine how men feel, right? How much they must go through trying to stop themselves from doing these sexual things, okay? And me as a woman who's supposed to have it all together and not supposed to feel like this is very difficult, okay? Because it makes me feel like, am I normal or what, right? It's like, it's a really high sex drive, okay? And it's hard sometimes to curb it. But because he knows that that's what I'm dealing with, what I'm having this difficult time with dealing with, he will show me, right, what things can transpire if I continue to fornicate with the sin that, you know, keeps on trying to pop back up, okay? Because this was in my bedroom, like literally in my bedroom, on my bed, right? Darkness, okay? He was saying, if you continue to keep on doing this, right, you're going to stay in this way. The expectancy you're going to have, this was the book that he gave me, that will be your life. That's the life of death that you're willing to partake in if you continue to keep on doing the things that you know that you're not supposed to do, okay? And that's why the book, it started to fall apart. And then he came and he gave me more pages to put in it. And then he gave me a book that was 3, okay? The number 3. I can't remember what 3 means now. Let me go. 3, because you got 3 Trinity, you got, you know, there's so many different, because you got Greek concordance meaning, Hebrew meaning, and the biblical, right? I didn't really want to come off my screen today, you know. But in Greek, it says Abaddon, which means Abaddon, the angel of the abyss, Bible, okay? Like, that in itself, because he's been making me look at the Greek more, okay? In one of my dreams, he said Greek, okay? Like, so I just go to the Greek now and understand that he's trying to tell me through the Greek meaning more than anything, right? So when you think of that, the angel of the abyss, right? That's just basically just taking yourself down that dark path, right? Down that route, right? Because I had the book 20, have the expectancy when you keep on fornicating and doing these sexual acts, right? That you will be taking yourself down to the abyss, okay? You don't want to go there. I don't want to go there, right? So I have to keep on tackling this. This is a really big thing, right? That a lot of people are suffering with, that a lot of people think it's just okay, right? No, it's not okay for you to be fornicating, doing sexual acts, oral sex, in any of that, right? On anybody who is not your husband or your wife, okay? Outside of marriage. It stunts everything that he has for you, okay? With me now, because of where my head's been, I've not been able to catch my dreams, right? Because my head's just in that space where it's like constantly thinking about my fleshly desire, right? And I have to curb that. I have to come away from that. So he has to speak to me in a way that I will understand, to turn around and tell me, if you do continue to keep doing this, you're going down the wrong road, okay? You're taking yourself down to the abyss, to the place where the enemy will have full control, right? Of you, your life, your body, your mind, your soul. He will take over the whole lot, okay? You will go backwards again. And that's what I have to remember, okay? I don't want to go back to that place where he pulled me out of, okay? I don't want to go back there, regardless of how much that feeling may be great and all of that stuff, right? Like our skin, right? The skin that sins will have us believe that it's just this greatest feeling ever. And it's like literally probably a few minutes, okay? Like, God provides so much more pleasure in so many different ways, right, than that our skin can give us. And it's so hard to explain, because the feeling of how it is when we get the things that we desire in this life, right, they just feel so good to you at the time, right? But explaining how God is, how Jesus is, how it feels to be in him, you have to find him first, so you can have that understanding and realize that's where you want to be. When you're in his presence, when you're surrounded by him and he shows you what pleasures and what greatness he has, you don't want to leave, okay? And I think that's where it's hard sometimes, because it's not manifest in front of us. He's not here with us. It's not like we can speak to him, talk to him, feel him 24/7, you know, unless we're sitting in his presence 24/7. It's like it's harder for us to stay stuck to what he can provide us with, right? I hope that makes sense. Right? Because physical things, we're touching, feeling, smelling, you know, seeing in front of us, we know it's there. But when it comes to when it comes to God and Jesus and stuff, we have to go seeking, right? And when we go seeking, it's not a guarantee that at that precise moment we're gonna see him, speak to him, or experience him in that moment, right? He can come when he feels like it's his timing and not our timing. And then sometimes we get like dismayed, or, you know, begin to feel like, is it even real? Is it, what's happening? You know, am I not worthy? Like, we have all kinds of thoughts. We're human beings, okay? We're faulty, mad, crazy, sometimes stupid, you know, human beings. Like, and we just gotta be real about things, okay? Because he says in the later days, right, man will be lovers of themselves and of their pleasures, okay, of pleasure and themselves. I've paraphrased that, right? But let's see if we can find the Bible verse. In the later days, man will be, that's it, be lovers of pleasure and of themselves. I believe that's how it goes, but we're gonna go get the real, okay? Right, let's see. So it's given me 2 Timothy 3 and 2, okay? Right, so where are we starting? Where's 2? For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous. sorry guys, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. Okay, it tells us to turn away from these things, okay, within ourselves and people who are like this, okay. So covetous people, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, okay? But they have a form of godliness, but they will deny the power thereof, okay? And we're to come away from those things within ourselves and from people who are like that, okay? And one of those things is the sexual sin, okay? That is pleasures, okay? Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. You cannot be a lover of sex more than you love God, okay? You have to find him and he will soothe every single thing that you are going for. He says, cast your burdens upon him, okay? He's the one who takes care of those things. So when we're feeling like this, first person we got to run to is him. Like, Lord, please help me, okay? As I said to you, when I feel like this, it can last days and days. It can last a week if necessary, right? If it feels necessary, okay? And most of the times it's a test for me to see if that's what I'm going to do. Am I going to turn away from him and go and do what as I feel and go to the pleasure? Or am I going to run straight to him, okay? Whenever we feel like this, it's so much easier said than done. Anybody who knows, okay? So much easier said than done sometimes, because you just want that quick release of pleasure and you just want to get it over with, get it off of you, okay? But it calls for us to go to him. It calls for us to seek him, okay? When we are thirsty, he is the one who comes and gives us living water. When we are hungry in the wilderness, he's the one that feeds us with manna. When it's time for us to go into our promised land, he is the one who has prepared it for us. He does all things, okay? He does all things. Don't go back to the darkness. Don't go back to the war-like things, the things that are going to cause a war inside of you, okay, inside of your spirit, right? And you know deep in your heart that you shouldn't be doing it, okay? If it doesn't feel right, it feels like it's going against everything that he says that you're supposed to be doing, trust me, you will be convicted in this hour, in this moment of what you are doing. If you're saying you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend and you're out here fornicating, having sexual relations with each other, and you know that you are not married to each other and it doesn't feel right, that is him speaking to you, okay? He did it to me. He pulled me out of it. As I said, we was in a relationship for 6 years. We were going like rabbits when we first started, okay? He had to take away the sexual desire away from me, okay? In order for me to turn around and say, is this all that we've got? Is this it? Is this all that we've got? Right? I had to sit and think. And then in that space of time, that's when my relationship fell apart, okay? Because it was like, that's what was holding it together, because you put it before anything else. You cannot put sex before God. You cannot put sex before the love and the commitment that you're supposed to have with your person, okay? If you are made for each other, there is more than sex, okay? There is more than sex. There is intimacy, yes. There are things like speaking to each other, like knowing each other, learning God with each other, praying with each other, loving upon each other, helping each other, building each other up. There's so much more, okay? And I can speak on it because I know exactly what I was looking for and I didn't find it at that time, okay? Because I was just so intoxicated by sex, okay? Don't allow for it to take a hold of you. Don't allow for it to rule your life, okay? Don't allow for your flesh to push you in the direction where you're going to do things out of timing, okay? Right, so I'm done with this word now before I go round and round in circles. But based off of the dream that he gave me, it's just come to mind now and he's just given me the revelation on it. And I said, I need to come on here and do this, okay? Because, oh, sorry guys, excuse me, that burp could not be held. Thank you, Jesus. But it's a right now word, okay? Not just for me, but for those who's suffering with this, okay? Who are having problems with this. And all things are fornication. Don't be putting your hands on no one's private parts. Don't be putting your mouth or anything else on anybody's private parts, okay? Okay? We're just real out here. We're going to keep it real 100%, okay? That is fornication, okay? Sexual acts, or even the kissing, okay, all those things there. And I know there are people who have actually done those things and they're married now, etc., etc. They have their story, okay, but mine's is not that story, okay? He wants celibacy. That's what he needs to get, okay? If he turns around and he says to you that you need to stay away from it, stay away from it, okay? It's for your own good, it's for your own benefit, okay? Because you can stop your blessings, believe me, okay? You don't want that to happen. You want to stay connected to the source, okay? Jesus is the plug. Stay connected, right? Okay, guys. So with that, I wish you a good day, afternoon, evening, whatever it may be, wherever you are. I hopefully shall see you guys soon. Be speaking to you guys soon. And if this is something that you have interest in, just leave me an email or something, or leave me a comment if you like. If this has helped in any way, smash the like button. You know, I give thanks for anybody who comes across these videos and watches them. Like, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Okay, I know I don't say it a lot. I'm not really like a whole lovey-dovey you know, express my feelings too much to people that I don't really particularly know, so I apologize for that. But just bear with me. Hopefully this channel will start to pick up with more things, more interesting things on this walk, you know, this faith walk that we got with God, and we can just speak on things raw, true, and just to the point, okay? So have a great day anyway, guys. All right, take care. Ciao.